Um, in imperial things, um, it came to my attention in the American real estate school that I went to in Hapog. What an acre was. Like in Long Island, we only went by an acre, a half acre. Like the real estate isn't sold in parcels that are imperial size. They're just an American acre for metrics. Somewhere along the lines. But in this, not between a hole, between here and there. Not one of those, but not a brass tacks meeting or encounter or run in or whatever. More of a just from alternate sourcing of almost sampling the buffet of crazy talk. They referred to a hectare, Hector, as a British imperial measuring tool of some sort. But again, I don't know if that's aeronautical field of science, because again, haven't gotten there. Just came across my visual and auditory complex, and I was like, now there's a nugget of, or pearl of wisdom, or whatever. So now, with that being said, this morning I've shown the supermarket, meaning the grocery store commercial line that they did. They had one where she was talking into a croissant and thought it was the French inside the grocery store. It was really hilarious. I think that this entire, not making fun of them, but I think that the way that they've spoofed themselves in real divine comedy is actually entertaining on a level of, I don't know the real details. And so then there's another gentleman who they brought in, but what's interesting is, and I had mentioned it back then, I think it was a few weeks ago, I said it was an avocado commercial, it was a croissant, and it was a egg, like the eggs that she threw on the floor. Because it's like a series of commercials with this one theoretical grocery store. Now today they have the commercial, which I'll just show a quick clip of it and then rewind it, because they had a story on the BS News that they're doing. So I don't know, it looks like there's some kind of integral whatever. So here's the commercial.
Price for avocados? Lidl must have reduced overheads. Or they train exotic birds to smuggle avocados straight from the tropics.
Esto es CBS Nueva York.
Now, if I go back,
It's all right. I'm good. Don't let me down.
Sell it, Vlad. Sell it.
I'm selling. I'm gonna sell it. Watch how it's done. The U.S. has stopped all avocado imports from Mexico until further notice after an American safety inspector was threatened there. So get this. Here's what happened. Mexico's agricultural department says the inspector working in Michoacan got a threatening message on his cell phone. Well, the U.S. government says it is working with Mexican officials to ensure the safety of all inspectors before imports will resume. Nearly 90% of avocados imported into the United States come from Mexico.
So I'm not gonna have my avocado toast?
Well, so let me, hold on one second. There are concerns about the supply chain disruptions that could lead to higher avocado prices. That's important to note. Mexico's president says the ban is part of a conspiracy against his country. There are other countries that export avocados to the United States. They include the Dominican Republic, Peru, Indonesia, and Colombia. So if you're the DR, you're like,
yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah, right.
This is my chance. But yes,
I mean, I hope that.
Those are not even logical conclusions that I would be able to jump. I'm not kidding. Like, in the sunlight process that I'm in and my life frame of what humans talk to me about, what they display to me, the way I've been integrated or left out of or blocked from the system, what he just spoke about isn't even logical. I have no idea how, like, to even look up where the hot spots for avocados might even be. I mean, again, he's a reporter, he's broadcaster. They have a lot more resources that they have access to in building whatever. I can look at this. I can see the pressure underneath here. It looks like it's just coming out. Ugh. So, and this is the day where the Hertz sound was vibrating outside just earlier. So now there's pressure changes. I can see like different swollen amounts, whatever. Here we are. And about avocados, I have no idea. Now, interestingly enough, Cat Scratch, my number 12, my 2012, he's also a 15. He, the other day says to me, he's like, I go to sit on my bed, and he's like, avocados from Mexico, and he starts singing this like little like thematic song, and I'm like, now where'd you get that from? Like, because I mean, we don't really eat. I mean, I love avocados. I just don't have the money for them, and Linda doesn't like them, so she doesn't buy them. But I'm like, where did you get that song from? He's like, I don't know. I don't know if it was from school that they were talking about it, or most likely not, or if it was something on his YouTube attached to his algorithm of somebody else, whatever, letting out a melodic, however that works, for it to be like a catchy, whatever, trend, I suppose. So it was just interesting because I'm like, and then to hear him talk about like Dominican Republic's in for what? Like, how does that even work? And like, again, I'm not part of like avocado conspiracy, so it's like what does that mean and how, whatever, on setting trends.
That person wasn't really threatened, and no one should be threatened on the job. But at the same time, people like avocados in America.
Do they know who threatened it?
No, they don't. So
Okay.
we'll find out. But for now, let's move on to this, the official.
And then
official.
it says GUAC. I don't know what that means either.
I'm going to tell you, the biggest night in Hollywood and the host of the Academy Awards has been revealed. They are Regina Hall.
So,
Amy
like,
Schumer.
I mean, here it is. They have this gigantic explosion of technology. Somewhere in the world, they have all of these, like, children born to the baby boomers before them, rushing into these mental institutions is what I call them, but whatever you call them, universities and colleges and Ivy League and whatever. And then it's what? Because I still, again, I mean, for networking purposes, I guess they're all right, but they've really changed the tune, the story, the argument, and made it really sloppy and messy. And I've been left out of the whole thing. I don't know what they all do for a living, But they're like, I don't, how do you do research? Like, where do you even begin on a computer, on an internet? I mean, like, there's teaching that goes along with the stupid box. I mean, there's a box with a light, there's a board with some symbols on it, and then it requires the human to be taught something in a sector to then sector with or then to vector with another sector with its importance and usefulness as a utility and tool. There's been no even attempt in my life frame. They wanted everybody to buy the sector's utility, and oh my god, it's the next best thing. It's gonna be all the craze, it's gonna be all the rage. Yeah, it sure is the rage. But now, what do I do with it? Because it just sits on the shelf and collects dust. Because I don't know what to vector it with. Since there's no mentor, there's no teacher, there's no anything. So now I'm stuck with the idiot box, boob tube, as if it's like, okay, so they had the running of the bulls, and now it's like, they passed by, I mean, about 20 years ago. I'm still waiting to, like, what was the purpose? I mean, I'm still standing in the same spot. In fact, my spot got a little worse. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxies, broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.